Hi everyone. So we're back with another episode of Esthetician Edit, and today we have Fernanda, and she is the owner of Sweet House & Co, where I rent my beauty suite. So I thought, why not sit down with her and ask her what it takes to own a beauty suite. I want to get to know her journey and also what she finds like a common theme in successful beauty suite owners or renters.
For sure.
And so I guess if you don't mind sharing, like, what made you want to start in this business? Let's go with that.
Well, thank you for having me.
Of course.
This is really exciting. So what made me jump into this is a little bit of a long-winded answer, but it was a little bit of passion and timing at the same time. My background is in tech. I'm a former tech executive, and that's kind of just where my life landed. Not where my passion was. My passion was always in trying to figure out how was I going to blend all of this together. Was obviously in business. You know, I'm like a perpetual business person forever. The beauty world, the wellness world, interior design, fashion, all of that. And I was like, how can I ever do all of my passions at once? And that was an impossibility until it wasn't, right? And for a lot of people, just like I think for the entire world, the pandemic was a really shifting moment, I think, in everyone's life and including mine. And one day I had to make a decision of whether I was going to keep the grind and staying in the tech IT world, or I was going to actually seek what I actually loved some way, somehow. And I was always a user myself of beauty suites. I'm a consumer, and I had all of my services, whether it be a lash, whether my estheticians, a massage, whatever, it was always in a beauty suite. But I always found it a place that it was transactional. You go in for what you go in and you get out. And I noticed that all of the beauty suite renters, I'm going to call them that. We don't call them renters here at Sweet House. We're members. But the beauty renters, to identify other locations, it was always, they would tell me that this was their place for now. It was always like, oh, this is where I'm renting for now. I'm going to outgrow this. They were never proud to say, this is my space. This is what I own. And this is, I see a career that I can build. A little bit of a long term. It doesn't have to be, not everything needs to be a trampoline. This could be home. And I realized, because I felt that it was a place I weren't proud to be in. You know, you walked in, everything was very dull, everything was very generic, and it wasn't inviting. And finally, I had the opportunity. This is, you know, I have an incredible team that believed in my vision, and I just needed them to trust me. And I said, well, how about this? We're going to make this shift. Anyway, we're all leaving tech, which had been family operated for a long time. And I'm here presenting it to my team, my finance team, my operations team, everybody that's with me. This idea, which at first people will likely not believe in your vision, because it always sounds too big. Because
it's not their vision, so they don't see it.
and I wanted people, no, you need to get in my head some way, somehow. Like this can be breakthrough for the industry. This is a bridge that we can like people need this, you know? And the beauty world is leading, and it's so grand, but there's something missing, and what is missing? And just stay with me. Like we can figure this out. That's where Sweet House is born. And it was a huge, huge, huge leap of faith, because although I thought the industry needed it, I didn't know that the industry wanted it. I wanted it, but that was in my head. So leaving tech today, I can tell you, was the best thing I did, because it wasn't my passion. So with passion is where Sweet House is built, because this is every corner you will find a piece of Fernanda, of at least Fernanda's brain. of
Or
what I
you
saw.
see you walking around
Or-
getting beauty services.
Well, that's a whole other question.
It's like, this was all built for me.
That's, and and that's another thing that people were like, well, be careful that you don't do your services in your own business. And I'm like, what? That doesn't even make sense. Why would I go and drop money somewhere else where these are my members that believed in my vision? I'm going to invest in them because they invested in me too, And that's why we're here today.
Yeah.
Because we that's a pretty story of why we built Sweet House.
I think that's beautiful because I feel like, at least when I think of beauty suite owners, sometimes I think, okay, they just get a property and they're just renting out suites just for the passive income. But I can tell you genuinely, like, this is a passion for you because, people walk in here and that's the first compliment I get when I have a new client is like, it's so pretty here. Like, there's so much love put into it that you can tell it's not an owner that just, you're always here also too, right? So you're way more involved than a regular beauty suite owner.
To add to that, I would say most people, because I have now been in the industry for a short minute, but I've been around it enough where I could hear the buzz from the industry. And most people do get into the beauty suites thinking that is a passive income. And it can be. It can be if you're going to do what everyone else is doing. Call it a day. Nobody really cares about the details. You built a space and you just put however many rooms you could, fit in there. And don't call me. Things are going to be breaking and they're collecting their rent or whatever it is that they're doing, and that's it. That is not why I built this place. I needed a community. I wanted a community. I desired a community. I thrived for a community, and a brand was going to be a lot more than if I had just put whatever signage outside, and just say, hey, come rent.
Yeah.
And here's an email if you have a problem.
I wonder if that also affects turnaround,
Absolutely.
Because when I first got here, I was getting appointments with some of the girls and they were here from the beginning, and then some of them were like, oh, I'm moving into a bigger suite. Right. So it's like you said, they're moving up, but they're moving up within Sweet House. They're not going somewhere else. So I wonder I don't know if you know this, what the turnaround is usually typically with other suites. So
I don't. Okay. I don't know.
You're I just know that we're
I just know that we're awesome. I don't, but I tell you why I don't. Because I knew that I couldn't keep looking in my neighbor's grass if I wanted to do what Sweet House was going to do. What do I mean by that? I know that Sweet House is not for everyone. And I know that other suites are going to offer what is probably fits best for others. There's everything for everyone.
Yeah.
And part of those that are here and what I see, I can tell you what I see in difference of people that come and stay and people that come and leave, is that Sweet House houses members that don't do this for a hobby. And that matters. They're developing brands, and when you're developing a brand, you look for stability and you look for a brand to house a brand.
Yeah.
Which is very different than looking for a location to house a brand, and we kind of hold hands with each other to powerhouse it together. So now it's two intentional brands growing together, and one will pull the other. With other suites, from my observation from being, a prior user of other beauty suites, it was not a community. It was not it was not a brand. It was not a, hey, how is your business doing? What can we do? How can we help? How can we sit here and talk about, the hard things? How can we hold an event? What can we do? How can we help you? And beauty suites they're not doing that.
Yeah.
They care about, let's collect this rent and let's move on. It's a business transaction, which it is, but it can be more than that.
Yeah. No, I feel like usually people who, like businesses who rent out beauty suites, they're a little bit like hidden gems, they're unknown. Then it's not until they get their own storefront where they make a name for themselves. But I can say like there's so many businesses, even just within Sweet House, that I'm like, whoa, I would expect, seeing from what I see online, that they have like a storefront, like Melanated Beauty Spa, so big, Refreshed by Rachel, so big. Like there's, it's kind of like you kind of have the best of the best in Sweet House. And I think it has to do with what you're saying, your branding. And then it's kind of like you're inspiring them to also brand themselves. And it's like a partnership.
The pool of talent that is at Sweet House is wild because the brands that are in here are way bigger than Sweet House. Sweet House is growing, we're new, we're shaking the market, but we're in a learning curve.
Yeah.
But the pool of brands and the pool of talent inside Sweet House is like no other. And I invite people to please go to other beauty suites. And this is not to say that there's anything wrong with it, but there is a caliber that Sweet House has been able to invite that has put the pool talent here, or the talent pool, is in a different standard.
Yeah.
It is a different standard with every single person here. Right now, today, I have all of my closest friends are doing all of their beauty services here. My family, my mother, my sisters, everyone around me, and I trust. I'm here because I'm actually, everyone's, I don't mind being a guinea pig for everyone here. And I am here. And the reason why I'm here, besides the fact that I've made incredible friendships here, I believe in every single business that's here. And I come not only to do my services, but also to learn. I am learning also with brands that are in here. You can't stop learning. And I couldn't come in with this attitude of, I got to figure it out.
Yeah.
We still don't.
Yeah.
And we are all learning from each other. But this pool is the 35 suites we have here. And I dare, and I will bet that we're probably leading them. I cannot imagine it'd be better. Like, show me one place in the whole United States that has a bigger pool talent in one place than Sweet House.
No, I know. We should win an award.
We should do this. I challenge. I challenge all beauty suites in America.
Feel like it's like a trickle effect too, because I mean, when I was looking for a suite, I wanted a place that was really elevated and felt luxurious because I wanted to attract clientele to justify my prices too. I obviously have 2 jobs, so I wanted to work maybe like see 10 clients a week max.
Sure.
And so I wanted to be able to have a place that's like luxurious where I feel like I can justify my prices basically and attract luxury clientele. And I feel like being here, I'm able to do that like proudly. Like I don't feel any doubt or whatsoever within my pricing because of that.
Absolutely. And also, something really important that happens. Other beauty suites, they feel, and to each their own, that they can charge whatever they're charging just because of the supply and demand. And that's true in business. Even though Sweet House is what it is and what we've done with it, we still wanted to keep it. It's elevated, yes, but it needs to be accessible, because we are all, it's money's hard.
Yeah.
Money's hard to make, and we can't lose sight of the bigger picture. Yeah, there's places that are charging what Sweet House is charging for half of what Sweet House offers. But because, there's a supply and demand out there, like I said, to each their own. And another thing that's really important that you touched is, and this happened a lot in other beauty suites, that I would walk in and the place was, it was very traditional, but their suite was done very nicely. But the moment you walked out of the very nice suite, the place went back to being the traditional walkout. And I wanted it to make it, you know, a space that not only you were proud of, but that your client was proud of, that your client walked in and you're like, okay, I feel really nice and comfortable here. Oh, now I feel even better inside your suite. And now I walk out of the suite. Oh man, I like what I see. I want to see what else is around here. I don't need to rush out of here. You know, there's an experience.
They love to explore. Even when I got here, I was like looking I could like to peep in and be like, ooh, because it's just, the energy is so nice. And you know, going to the bathroom too, you get to go walk around, see all the suites and stuff like that.
And we encourage a lot of that. We encourage a lot of, even within our own collaboration. Collaborate.
There's a ton of collaboration.
Collaborate. You know, it helps. Collaboration helps. You never know, you know, what two businesses can put together. And it is super powerful. You know, even in our marketing strategies, we collaborate with suites. Hey, let's talk about it. Come film with us. Let's do more. How can we hold each other's hand? It's not a straight line. And you know, there's no right and wrong. But what I have learned in this journey is that alone, it cannot be done. Yeah. It cannot be done. We have to hold each other's hands. We got to collaborate. We got to be with each other. You know, I built this space for all of us. You know, let's use it. Let's be intentional about it. Let's, you know, milk it. For what it is, for what it's worth.
I mean, I get my hair done here. I get my eyebrows done here. The only thing is nails, because I already have my girl. Oh, you can't but I'm like, girl. She needs to come over here. Yeah. But always I tell my clients all the time, I'm like, because they're like, it's so pretty here. I'm like, yeah, you know, they do so many services here. Like I can tell you who to go to, basically. And then I remember when I first started here, I started following all the girls and I went and I got tanning. Like they were doing a deal for tanning and for waxing. And I was like, of course, you just walk over.
100%. No. And it's funny. Sometimes like when I come and I say, oh no, I'm just going to have a quick meeting for whatever reason. And I have a meeting and then I end up in somebody's chair doing something. And then I finished that and I was like, well, you know, while we're at it, just give me the IV. You know, while we're doing that, well, is the laser machine on? And we're at it, you know.
I love it.
And I don't even live close. I live about an hour away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But I'm like, there's not enough miles in my car to support what I'm doing here. But I love it so much, you know, and that's why like I want to keep the momentum going. And the future for Sweet House is really grand.
Yeah, you're opening a second location.
We are opening a second location in Doral. So many hurdles, you know, so many hurdles. It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, I wanted to, because we're like talking about the good, and I know you mentioned before that there's a lot of work that goes into this. So if you can talk a bit about like the challenges that maybe you didn't expect, but.
I think one of my biggest challenges in opening Sweet House was managing the unknowns. To this day, you don't know what is going to come at you. And that's to run any business. Every business is going to have its complexities and its peculiarities. And a premium concept is harder. Like we said in the beginning, you know, just opening a space, divided, put suites, put your plumbing, put your things, call it a day, collect checks. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Making an intentional premium brand is another thing, because building a premium brand requires premium work. And setting expectations is another thing. So it comes with, you know, you have full build outs. So it requires heavy on involving the city. You know, permitting is very difficult. It is not a cheap investment. You know, it requires capital. And sometimes, well, I'm learning that 10 out of 10 times is not the capital that you think. You have to be prepared for the unknown of that. And then, you know, with that will come anxiety and all those things and all of the, you know, the painful things. And you have to have a stomach for it, you know, to have a team that you can rely on. And it's to build a premium brand, it's going to require blood, sweat, and tears, literal blood, sweat, and tears. When we opened this location, we had delays. We built this entire place with no air conditioning. With no air conditioning.
Goodness.
Because you have to deal with vendors.
And we're located in Miami, by the way, so it's hot.
Oh, no. And this was July. We opened we started to build out in the month of February. It wasn't going to complete until the month of October. And everything in between is always 100 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
Okay?
Yeah.
At the time, we were building still in a little bit of a coming off of a pandemic where everything was a delay. So that was a challenge that I'm hoping, I don't know still that we're going to have this challenge with Doral because we are in our still build out phase pretty early on. Building this location in top of summer was very challenging, not only for me, for everyone. Then we have to paint these walls with no air conditioning. So how are we going to do this? Because you need to have these things. That's just construction challenges. We can handle that, right? But now we have to set expectations correctly for those that are going to be coming in. So my second biggest challenge was making sure that people bought my vision. We're not open yet. I don't know if I'm going to sell the suites. How do we know? I know that there's a demand in the market, but now there's a difference between having a demand and people actually buying the demand. This demand. There's so many. There's a lot of concepts of beauty suites, every corner, but only one that I felt in my vision needed to, operate in a certain way. Staying consistent and just seeing, don't derail. Stay in it. It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to just make a basic concept. And at times, I am not going to lie to you, I thought about it. You know what? Should we just make this as basic as possible? Don't, it's just, there's not a little difference because there's nothing to compare to. So, but no, there was more to it. I knew I wasn't looking for passive income. I knew what was I going to do with the rest of my day?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, your vision was strong. And that's the thing. I feel like sometimes you need a strong vision and passion to pull you through. If not, you're just going to be mediocre.
And was it going to be another one? For that, I stay in tech. It was fine. You're collecting a paycheck and everything's fine and everything is, and everything's safe and your 401k safe and your health insurance is safe and everything's safe. But I needed to stay with fear.
Yeah.
Stay with it. Sit with it, and let it be, go through it until this day. There's still challenges. There's still unknowns,
But has it calmed down more?
Oh, absolutely. I remember my first problem that I would ever take that it was whatever, something failed. I don't know. A light. I don't know. Whatever it was, something silly. Oh my God, my world ended. How? How can this happen? How can how can we do something, that it can't be wrong. It can't skip a beat. That's unrealistic.
Yeah.
And I found a lot of comfort in building a business with other entrepreneurs because we were all in the same pain. And if I could feel your pain, you can feel my pain, and we were in it together. It's calmed down so much. Now everything is like, there's nothing that cannot be fixed. There's nothing that cannot be fixed. There's absolutely nothing that can be fixed. So now with Doral, I have even higher expectations for Doral because we already did it one time. It's not plug and play like others think. Oh, now it's going to be super easy to do. No, now your expectations are higher. It is a bigger space. It is a completely different neighborhood. It is a neighborhood known to have completely different expectations of everything, really. So, but the vision stands, and I think as long for any beauty professional, you have to have an ultimate vision for your brand. And if you have the ultimate vision for your brand, stay the course. Stay the course. Don't derail. You're already on the train.
And I feel like it
Don't
has to be
derail.
for you, because I feel like, I mean, I was the type of person, I've had like other businesses before, but
Yeah.
it was always under someone else.
Sure.
And I feel like having my own business now, like it's like my baby.
Yeah.
And I'm so passionate about it because I create from the heart. Like it's me. At the end of the day, it's like an expression of you. So I feel like when it's your vision, like you kind of can't care what no one's going to have the same vision as you at all.
No, and it's hard to translate it out of your head.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important to surround yourself with those that get it.
Mm-hmm. Or that just trust you enough.
To just go with it,
Yeah.
right? But it's hard. Translating vision is hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very blessed, like you said, that I had a team that understood. But I was like, wow, can you read my brain? Read my brain.
But do you think that they just wanted to support you more than anything?
100%.
Or were behind you more than the vision?
They
probably?
trusted.
Mm-hmm.
They trusted whatever I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
I'm
that's important.
you know, everyone is happy that they did. We're like, whew, thank God, you know, it worked out. Could have gone a million different ways, but it didn't, thankfully. And the future for Sweet House is, you know, now that, you know, and we still have these conversations, you know, that I'm like, no, but this is the vision. This is the brand. We got to stay in, and you can't do this because that's not part of the brand. And remember the brand that's in my head.
Mm-hmm.
That's the brand that we got to stay in. But now, you know, and I get this question a lot. It's like, well, you know, like, what are you going to do? Are you going to just keep opening?
Mm-hmm.
And another unknown, you know, like, yes, the plan is to expand, but it's not, and we're not in a hurry, even though the second location is coming quite fast.
Yeah.
You know, we're only less than year 2 in. And do we want to keep doing it? Yes, but not to keep opening beauty suites, just to keep opening beauty suites because of the bottom line, because of, no, we're creating communities, you know, and I want to set a different standard that true professional beauty owners deserve. You know, this is a space that's just as for me as it is for you. You know, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not an esthetician.
Yeah.
You know, even though I would love to become one. I think that's
oh my goodness, yes. Never say never.
I should, no, absolutely not. Listen, I am chameleoning my way through life. But I feel like it would be something really valuable to add. Now I understand, you know, not just the outer parts of the business. I would like to learn more and keep myself educated in the inner. Like, what does it take? And I love it. I've always loved it, you know, and that's why we built it, but I didn't know what to do with it. Like how merging all of it, like I said, putting everything on this blender, like, wow, what am I going to build from this? It's hard.
And so just going to like talking about estheticians specifically, not estheticians, but like beauty professionals. Yeah. Are there any common themes that you see amongst the professionals that really make it and are successful, and then also to the ones that don't? Absolutely.
Consistency. That's, you know, the common theme to success in any business is going to be consistency. You do it over and over and over when it's hard, when it's ugly, when it's boring, and it doesn't matter, and you stay on it. Perfect your craft. Show up, work on your marketing, work on your brand. Those are the ones that I've seen that have succeeded. The ones, and I've come across a handful that don't, are the ones that treat it like a hobby, that is not important to them, that is not really their baby, like you said, and they're not showing up. The ones that really, truly want to build a brand and want to be successful, that I've seen, they're on it. They're sleeping, eating, breathing their brand. Their primary focus in their life has become that, because it is their baby. This is their creation. What do I need to do for it? I'm going to market it. I'm going to show it. I'm going to give it love. I'm going to make my space inviting. I'm going to make it this. I'm going to make it cozy. I'm going to, stay consistent. It's just been repeating, not being afraid to do it again tomorrow, 2 weeks from now. Oh, but it's boring. And they're on it and they're on it. That's the common theme that I have seen in successful businesses across, especially in this industry. It's highly competitive. To stand out in this industry is hard.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard.
There's beauty professionals everywhere.
In every corner, it's hard. So the only way is to stay on it and stay consistent. If you drop out, out of sight, out of mind, you can't. Staying on it is what I have seen in this little bit of experience that I've developed, that it stands out. And I can tell you this from all the successful brands that we have within Sweet House, that's the thing.
It's probably so beautiful seeing them grow too. Like,
oh my
even
gosh.
just in a year.
No one is cheering harder than me for everyone here because consistent clients. They're here, they're growing consistent. So we encourage, I've had so many already, well, you've seen it too, clients that they keep outgrowing their space. There are others that they don't need to outgrow their space is their brand, but I've had it that they're just like, I need to keep hiring more people because now my brand has become known that I can, I need a little bit more space. How can we do it? I don't know. We're going to get creative. Let's break down walls. I don't know. Let's put things together. But like whatever it is that the journey is for the professional, like we're here to back it up and support it, whatever that is. But no one's cheering harder for every business here than me. No one.
I love that. You can see it for sure.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I because I built it for them, I'm just like, oh my God, yes, grow. I'll grow Sweet House. That's what I really want. Like do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Or stay with me forever. Oh my gosh, we'll hold our hands forever. This is going to be so fun. But I'm with every single one of my tenants every step of the way.
I love that. So with your success, which happened so quickly with Sweet House & Co., are you planning on doing any like courses to teach other people how to do the same thing as you?
Yes. So that is in the pipeline.
Okay.
That is definitely something that has been in my guidelines that I need to make sure that the brand offers that. And yes, we are going to do, I don't have a timeline for it yet, but we are going to be doing that. And it will be useful not only for beauty professionals or beauty suites, but it's business course throughout. You can apply what we are going to be doing in any area of your professional life. Niche specifically to those that want to get into the beauty suite world, which I tell you right now, it looks glamorous, but it looks pretty. Yeah. But it's not the path to success is a tough road. People can, make their own conclusions about what it is to run a beauty suite. It is not easy, but it is gratifying and it is a long road, but it is for a premium beauty suite, which that's what we would teach. We're not going to teach anything basic. For a premium beauty suite, it is a road that requires grit and strength and courage. So yes, we don't have a timeline yet, but they'll come.
I think that's going to be great because if there's more people like you that are creating premium beauty suites, it's just going to help elevate the industry overall.
We have to.
Yeah.
We have to. The world has become very demanding and it requires a lot. Everyone has become very, very, very picky. It's not like how it used to be back in the day. Now everyone has got to show up differently.
I love that. So if anyone wants to contact you, like visit your website, do you mind giving us your website, your Instagram?
Let's do it. So Instagram, Sweet House & Co. Same. Our website, www.sweethouseandco.com. We are taking wait lists only at the moment in Pembroke Pines and Doral because we're pretty much. Doral not booked out yet. We haven't opened that open list yet. We're going to be doing it in August, but Pembroke Pines is on a current wait list for everybody.
Wow. I got
Super
in
excited.
just in time.
Just in time. Just in time. But yeah, and then we'll see where we go from there. But for now, we're just going to continue to perfect the craft and go from there.
I love it. Well, I hope we like get to talk again
For sure.
when you hit that milestone, so we can do like another podcast.
Maybe the next one's with Doral.
Yes.
And
Leading up to the next one.
I'll tell you, the dirty. We can do. I can give you all the juice and the gossip. It gets.
Well, we can ask our listeners to ask questions, and
Absolutely.
then we'll answer it in the next podcast.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'll answer it, even if the answer is really ugly.
Alrighty. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you.
Bye, guys.